Hey, everybody. Welcome to Ask Aaron, second one of the week, because I went on vacation last week. So I thought I would start off. Sometimes I wear things and don't think about what I'm wearing, but most of the time I'm very aware of what I have on. And there's a lot of breaking news around the Packers and Aaron Rodgers this week. And so I thought I would wear my Packers gear in order to, get more views and likes and clicks and all of that. So I have on my Packers hat. I'm wearing a Wisconsin shirt. Just here to talk about Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets and the Green Bay Packers. Now that I said those things, I can hashtag them. Actually, it's a shameless plug, isn't it? I probably should take the hat off, put on something less obvious. Sorry. Anyway, I got a few questions this week about my message that I gave on evangelism and inviting people to church last Sunday. As always, these are my views, not the church's. I hope they agree, and would love for you to continue the conversation in the comment section below. Let's jump into the questions. Should we keep asking if people reject an invite to church? Should you keep asking? I think, asking like on a weekly basis is probably not the right way to handle it, right? If someone has actually like denied your request and said, no, absolutely not, I'm not coming, asking on a weekly basis is probably aggressive and inconsiderate. You can pray for the person. You can make sure that the door is always open. But if somebody like just doesn't come one week because you invited them and then they didn't show up, or they said maybe and they didn't show up, or they said they were going to show up but then they didn't show up, checking back in with them and continuing to ask them is absolutely okay. I think the most important thing is to have a relationship with the person before you ask them, right? Like just asking somebody and if you ask a stranger or somebody you just met because it came up in conversation, that's totally fine. But if you ask and it's not a person you know well, and then weeks go by and they still haven't come, you may not want to reach out solely about church. You may want to, invite them to coffee, have them over for dinner, things like that. Evangelism is not just about inviting people to church. It's about inviting people to become a part of the family of God, about inviting people into the kingdom. And there are many ways to do that isn't just inviting somebody to church on a Sunday morning. So I think that kind of answers that question. Unless somebody just flat out rejects you, it's okay to continue to invite, and being persistent is a good thing. But do it with people that you have relationships with, and do it with the right heart. And, it's not like you're going to get an award at least at Hill City for inviting someone and them showing up. So do it the right way, do it with integrity, and do it for the right reasons, and it'll probably work out. All right. If I invite people to church, won't they see that I am a hypocrite? Sure. As is every other person, except for the fact that I don't like the word hypocrite here because it implies that you're not trying to change. Like, all of us fall short of our goal. All of us don't live up to the standard that Jesus set. And whether Christian or not, that's an impossible standard for us to reach. So will they see that you don't live up to the standard that was set for you by the perfect Son of God? Yes, absolutely. They will see that you don't live up to that standard. They may even see that you sometimes do things that you said you don't want to do or that you think you shouldn't do. But with that being said, those should be things that you're willing to talk to them about. You should be open about the fact that you don't always live up to that standard, that you are in need of God's grace and forgiveness. And that's part of the reason that you come to church, is to remind yourself of that and to encourage yourself to get better and to put yourself in a position to be accountable to other people. So, hypocrite implies that you're not trying to do the things that you say you want to do. And I would say, won't they see that I sometimes fail? Won't they see that I sometimes come up short? Yes, absolutely. And if we're being honest, hopefully that shows them that they are not alone in that, that when they feel as though they've come up short, when they feel as though they have failed, it's okay. God still loves them. Jesus still paid the price for those failures and that sin. God has not abandoned us because we can't be perfect. And hopefully that is an encouragement to them, not something that dissuades your relationship with them. And like I said, being honest about those things, even before they show up, is appropriate and okay and encouraging to others. So I wouldn't want you to kind of hide those things, pretending to be perfect, because that's what gets a lot of Christians a bad rap and people turned off by our faith. So, last question. How should I handle the fear of sharing my faith? Because sometimes I doubt it myself. Again, honesty, integrity, transparency. These are important words when it comes to talking about faith and belief in God. Like, you can say that sometimes you struggle to understand why God does certain things or allows certain things. The largest question in the entirety of people challenging Christendom is, why would a loving God allow bad things to happen to good people, right? People ask that question, and my response to it is always the same. There's no such thing as a good person. We're all sinners in need of God's grace, and God doesn't cause bad things to happen to us. It's the result of our sin in our lives, that we choose the things that are not of God. We choose to be far from God or to do things that God would not approve of, and those things have consequences and results. And it's not an easy answer in all situations, but that is the most asked question when it comes to Christianity. And so, is it okay that you doubt your own faith? Yes. Doubt is not the enemy of faith. Doubt is not the opposite of faith. Doubt is something that encourages you to continue to grow in your faith and to challenge yourself and to find reasons that you believe. You can talk about the fact that there are books that you're reading, apologetics, the study of Christianity and the defense of the Christian faith. You can read those books with people. You can talk about them. So how do you handle the fear of sharing your faith when you don't feel like you necessarily have it all put together? You are honest about it. You say that there are things that you don't understand. You encourage people that that's okay, that that's why we come to church, that that's why we learn, that that's why we go to small groups, that's why we are in mentoring relationships, that's why we have conversations with our pastor, that's why we ask Aaron. Aaron doesn't know everything, and I'm not digging this talking about myself in the third person. So, with that said, it is okay to share your faith even though you don't have it all together, because no one other than Jesus had it all together. So, with that said, as always, thank you for asking Aaron. I have a busy birthday weekend to get to. I'm turning 41 years old. I'm very old. You knew that already because I have gray in my beard and I don't have any hair on my head. What? I've been wearing a Packers hat this whole time? Who knew? As always, thank you for asking Aaron. Hope you have a great week. This Sunday, you can follow us online, hillcityhudson.org/media. You can watch on Facebook, YouTube, or on our app. We will talk to you next week. Have a great one.